Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hatakashana Asinam, Swadhishneshu Iva Pavakan, Shraddha Samyama Samyuktaha, Pritaha Praha Bhavagrajan, Hatakasana Asinam, Hatakasana Asinan, Swadhishneshu Iva Pavaka, Swadhishneshu Iva Pavakan, Shraddha Samyama Samyuktaha, Shraddha Samyama Samyuktaha, Pritaha Pravabhavagrajan, Hatakashana Asinam, Swadhishneshu Iva Pavakan, Shraddha Samyama Samyuktaha, Pritaha Pravabhavagrajan, Hatakasana Asinan, Swadhishneshu Iva Pavakan, Shraddha Samyama Samyuktaha, Pritaha Prahabhavagrajan. Hataka Asane, on the throne made of gold. Asinam, when they were seated. Swadhishneshu, on the altar. Eva, like. Pavaka, fire. Shraddha, respect. Samyama, restraint. Samyuktaha, being decorated with. Pritaha, pleased. Praha, said. Bhava, Lord Shiva. Agrajan, the elder brothers. The four great sages were elder to Lord Shiva, and when they were seated on the golden throne, they appeared just like fire blazing on an altar. Maharaj Prithu, out of his great gentleness and respect for them, began to speak with great restraint as follows. Hare Krishna Supriti Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Purport by Srivanjay Sesi Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada, Prabhupada ki Jai. The Kumaras are described herein as the elder brothers of Lord Shiva. When the Kumaras were born out of the body of Lord Brahma, they were requested to get married and increase the population. In the beginning of the creation, there was a great need of population. Therefore, Lord Brahma was creating one son after another and ordering them to increase. However, when the Kumaras were requested to do so, they declined. They wanted to remain Brahmachari throughout life and be engaged fully in the devotional service of the Lord. The Kumaras are called Naishtika Brahmachari, meaning they are never to marry. Because of their refusal to marry, Lord Brahma became so angry that his eyes became reddish. From between his eyes, Lord Shiva or Rudra appeared. The mode of anger is consequently known as Rudra. Lord Shiva also has a Sampradaya party known as the Rudra Sampradaya, and they are also known as Vaishnavas. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisheshaya Shunravadi Pashat Deshatarine. Jayo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hatakasana asinan Swadhishneshu iva pavakan Shraddha samyama samyuktaha Pritaha pravabhavagrajan. The four great sages were elder to Lord Shiva, and when they were seated on the golden throne, they appeared just like fire blazing on the altar. Maharaj Prithu, out of his great gentleness and respect for them, began to speak with great restraint as follows. So now we have the four Kumaras. They have come in the assembly of Prithu Maharaj, and Prithu Maharaj is very happy to see them. So we see some quality within Prithu Maharaj. Even though he is an incarnation of God, even though he is the emperor of the world, with all the power, riches, fame, Still, he is actually in the heart, eager for spiritual advancement. Something to learn from Prithu Maharaj. And he bowed down to four Kumaras. Four Kumaras don't wear clothes. They're very small children. They keep themselves in a form of a small child, but they are all four of them are personification of knowledge. Somebody of knowledge, somebody of vairagya, somebody of tapasya, like that. They are personification of success in spiritual life. And they had darshan of Narayana and the spiritual world. They are blessed by the Lord, very elevated devotees also of the Lord. In fact, before they went to see Narayana, they had heard from their father about Vishnu in the spiritual world. Vishnu in the spiritual world is called Narayana. They heard about Narayana, but they had not seen him. And they have already detached themselves from the body and they're in the Brahman platform. And Brahmabhuta Prasannatma, they're very joyful, but they have no access to devotion service to Krishna till that time. They heard about it from their spiritual master Brahma, father and spiritual master. So they decided, let us see the spiritual world. And when they went to the spiritual world, the gatekeeper Jaya Vijaya could not appreciate, and instead of helping them in devotion service to the Lord, they obstructed. And what was to be, they got cursed to go down to earth, because envious people have no existence in a spiritual world. And so for their correction only they cursed them. And then they got the darshan of Narayana. And when they saw Narayana, they were spellbound. So beautiful. They smelled the tulsi and the lotus feet of the Lord, and they saw the beautiful form of the Lord. They entered devotion service and became great acharyas in the parampara. Kumar Sampradaya comes from them, where Nimbarka Acharya later became a great acharya. Now this is what we know. Now here there is mention about Brahmachari, Nishtika Brahmachari. So there are four ashramas, Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyas. And as Srila Prabhupada made his movement, he made this external. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Ramanand Rai were discussing, so at that time Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, how do I achieve perfection in life? So Ramananda Rai, Sarvadharman Parityajya. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, no, it's external. Then he said, we should do yat karoshi yad ashnashi yad yujuhosi dadasi yad. Whatever we have, we should offer to Krishna. That's external. So he kept offering different things which we know in Bhagavad Gita as, what people think is perfection. But he said, that's external. And then he said, Sthane sita shritigatam tanuva manobhi. Wherever we are, we can stay. Whichever ashrama we are, we can stay. We should just patiently, submissively hear the message of Krishna from the realized souls. Namanta eva. We should become humble. Jnane prayasa udapasya namanta eva. What is people trying to do today? They're trying to know God by their own speculation. And I think God is like that. But I have another idea, it's like that. It's a please become humble. This is a sign of pride. Humility means person agrees to hear to what Acharya has said. That's called humility. Humility is not in external way. Humility means sometimes we say to people, no, why don't you just listen? And somebody doesn't listen, we say he's very proud. Correct? He doesn't listen. So actually, the great Acharya have spoken so many things for our benefit, and we don't want to listen. That is where the problem lies. Problem is not anywhere else. Problem is that we don't have time to listen. We don't have time to read proper books. As far as ISKCON movement is concerned, our Acharya, there's no other problem. There was a famous statement, Prahlad Maharaj says, we think about enemies, actually there is no enemy. Our enemy is our own mind. So that is where our life is. And Kali Yuga is full of people very proud. They will not listen. And then when they don't want to listen, they get victimized by distraction, what we call as manoranjan. See what kind of thing people delight, we can know what kind of people they are. Like when Shukadeva Goswami is speaking, Parikshit Maharaj did not even take a drop of water. He was hearing with that attention. You tell him there is some other current news, So I'm not interested. We hear in the Suta Goswami itself of that category. When Suta Goswami is hearing to, when the sages of Naimisharanya, they are of that category. Shukadeva Goswami spoke, Suta Goswami heard. Suta Goswami spoke, sages in Naimisharanya heard. And among them, the leader was Shaunaka Rishi. But Suta Goswami was telling, what happened once? There was this Parikshit Maharaj which was moving. And he saw one cow almost killed. Now, in the Vedic time, this is a very big news. See, today, if you tell cow and a bullets, even now people will get agitated. In Hindu, there will be Go-Rakshaks and all, what we will call far right and all. They will get very agitated and they will go to kill them also. But it is news. In Vedic time, you cannot even imagine cows because cow was respected like a mother. Many times Srila Prabhupada said, cow is not an animal, it's a mother. That is a respect. People belonging to Vedic culture. And he's talking about a cow or a bull being butchered by a Kali Purusha. And Parikshit Maharaj came there and he sufficiently punished them. So the sages say, sufficiently punished? You should have killed them, no? They're surprised. What is sufficient? You should have just killed them. And anyway, does this whole narration has anything to do with Krishna consciousness? Why a moment of time we are not interested to waste? If it has nothing to do, because this is not direct Krishna consciousness, this is, Upadharma, some karma kanda. So if this has nothing to do with Krishna consciousness direct, please don't waste our time. We are not interested. Can you just imagine the level of stress? They do not want to waste 1 second. And here we are in Manoranjan. Switch on internet, one more site, another site. Facebook, one silly joke, another silly joke. We know there is not a drop of Krishna consciousness in that whole thing. But we are. That is what quality we are. So that is what we have to address. It does not matter which ashrama we are in, immaterial. A Grihastha ashram, Brahmachari ashram. I was just analyzing, I was telling, when you chant Hare Krishna mantra, if you can hear the 16 words of the mantra till 16 rounds, the quality of that is what is target. Now, if in Grihastha ashram you can nicely hear the Maha Mantra, take that. If Brahmachari ashram you can take that, take that. Your purpose is to hear the Maha Mantra. Whichever ashram will help you, take advantage of that. Doesn't matter. Now you want to hear the Krishna Katha attentively. You can do it very nicely as Grihastha. Because Brahmacharya Grihastha is not the goal of life. Goal of life is to go to Krishna. Now they say the joke, when a Brahmachari sees a Grihastha, he feels, I should have been a Grihastha. When a Grihastha sees the Brahmachari, I would have been a Brahmachari. It's a normal joke. Everybody feels like that. But no, this is totally immaterial. Totally immaterial. Sometimes for children we think, what he should be a Brahmachari Grihastha. Totally immaterial thing, you're wasting your time. Your target is something else. Target is, can my child attentively with respect hear what Shastras say? That is my target. Does not matter where he will find it comfortable to do it. Okay? Sometimes what happens, We make means to be the goal. No. Now, if I want to go from here to, say, Mangalore, and my car is not working, doesn't matter. No, I can take bus and go. Bus is also not working. There is a strike. I can walk and go. It doesn't matter how I'm going to go. The end is important. The means can be changed. So when we forget the end, we forget the conclusion, we get lost into the means. Like, I have so many people who should speak in Hindi because that's a Rashtra Bhasha. Ye kya hai bhai? Kidhar pad gaye? There was one RSS leader in my college. So I told you so many times. So I wrote a letter to him when I joined ISKCON. I was basically an atheist. So I used to see him, big thing about Hindutva and all. So when I joined ISKCON, I wrote a letter to him. Here we are building a huge temple and I'll be grateful if he can give some help or organize some help. He wrote to me back, why did you write letter in English? You should have written in Hindi. Is that important or temple is important? Man, you just see the joke, When Srila Prabhupada, God brothers went to England, 3 sannyasis was sent by Gaudiya Mutt. He paid money for the going. They landed in England and they came back as failure. Could not open the movement there. Could not create a revolution. Okay, maybe 1 or 2 disciples like that. So much money was being spent. Bhaktivinoda Prabhupada got frustrated, called them back. And Prabhupada sent 3 Grihastha couples. What did he send? Grihastha couples. Practically with no money. In fact, they landed in Europe and they're going, some economic flights. And you have to have some money in an account to show to enter, to get a visa. So one by one they did it. Transferred in one's account, he went inside. They transferred another account, he went inside. They did drama. So much difficulty. And very soon, newspaper England reported Krishna chant and transcendence. The success. They organized such a movement that thousands of people in England started chanting Hare Krishna. And they even George Harrison, so many things. They met the important personalities. They were day night working. They created a miracle. And Prabhupada said, look, what my sannyasis could not do, this grihasthas have done. And how many years they are in the movement? Perhaps 2-3 years only. How many years the sannyasi would be in a movement? Maybe 30-40 years. Chanting 64 rounds. Bhaktivinoda Prabhupada had 64 rounds chanting. Chanting 16 rounds. So ashrama is not important. Traditionally, yes, but focus is somewhere else. Focus is can I attentively hear what Prabhupada is trying to say? Can I do that? That's it. It's all immaterial. We are making something which is unnecessarily into the focus and then time is lost. As far as the Brahmacharis, Srila Prabhupada opened Srisriradha Govinda ki, Shri Gaur Nitai ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. Prabhupada did have a desire from the moment he opened Gurukuls in Vrindavan, in America, in Dallas, so many places. And Prabhupada did have a desire that, every year hundreds of the people can be trained. So we will get hundreds of brahmacharis, full-time workers in the movement. ISKCON practically today had to close down all. That desire could not have helped. Then ISKCON has huge amount of grihasthas as congregations. Their children brahmachari, no. Is 100%, there is not even a chance. Okay, so it's not an easy factor when we socially see. So let us not focus on something which is not the primary objective. Our primary objective is, can we, just like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Yare deko tare kaho Krishna upadesha. Whoever you see, what is our objective? Objective is, give a chance to people to hear about Krishna consciousness. Therefore, Prabhupada made book distribution as the primary objective of his movement. Because what is his focus? Let people hear. Give a chance to people to hear. When somebody takes Bhagavad Gita at home, like we did yesterday, people got a chance. Or we sell books to people, whichever way. When people get a chance to hear, it's like you are putting a bomb inside their house. And when he gets it, there is a chance sitting in his house. He may not, sometimes it is not that person, maybe his son someday, maybe after 100 years, somebody opens the book and he reads. And with respect, he start hearing what it says. Done. Job is done. Okay? So this is where the focus should be. Can I? Now we hear the woes of Brahmacharya. Somebody was saying, how is it possible today in the present scenario? Brahmacharya means in any situation, at any time, in any kind of complexity, you should not think about sex. It's almost impossible today now. With the kind of media we are having today, the way they are grown up, Brahmacharya means from 5 years to 25 years it has to be practiced. Almost impossible. So let us not focus on Nishtha Brahmacharya. Nice thing to hear. There were people like that. We had how many brahmacharis we can think of who were great successful. Hanumanji, we hear about great brahmachari. Not distracted at all. It says when Hanuman entered the assembly of Ravan, he saw so many beautiful women lying, not even properly dressed. No interest. So powerful brahmachari. We hear about Bhishma as a great brahmachari. Again and again, Amba request, and she was extremely beautiful. All the three sisters with Bhishma as brought were extremely beautiful. Vichitra Virya, whatever. So the Amba was requesting Bhishma, why don't you marry me? No, I've taken over Brahmachari. So Bhishma is a great brahmachari. His father blessed him seeing that determination. Narada we hear, great brahmachari. We hear about 4 Kumaras. From the 4 Kumaras, the name Naishtika Brahmachari is powerful brahmachari. Yes, wonderful, this is there. And nice to hear. Not easy to get. So let us not focus on something which is not the primary objective of the movement. Movement objective is not just create brahmachari. There is no objective like that. Objective of the movement is spread Krishna consciousness. And as it comes in the forward, the situation, what comes, take that. What comes to you, accept the situation. But see the people can get a chance to hear. What way you can organize, do it. Interesting thing happened when ISKCON started preaching in the Gulf. The funny thing in the Gulf is that no brahmacharis can stay there because you cannot stay unless you have a job. You cannot stay. So full-time brahmachari who has no engagement, he cannot even stay there. Even he has to enter there in a pant and shirt and hiding all his shikha. So he's not welcome there. Sannyasis, no, he cannot stay there. Who can stay there? Grahastha having job. So generally people will think, anyway, Grahastha itself is difficult and Grahastha doing job, so he has so much time he has to spend in the office. Then Grahastha spends so much time at home, the family. So can they preach? If you actually see the preaching which is done in the Gulf cities, they put temples in India to shame. A cities like Dubai has something like few thousand people chanting 16 rounds. Who is preaching there? Grahasthas. So what is important? It's not important. What is important? They have done it. Somehow or another, they made thousands of people hear about Krishna. What they did actually, every house, those who were congregation, inspired already, they made their house into a temple. Generally the biggest room in the house is where you put that stupid TV. That, and they put a nice altar there. So all of them sacrificed one room, first thing. And after having done that, they made a temple, just like we have. Jagannath, generally they put Jagannath because SEVA is a little less, or Gaun Nitai. They avoid. Radha Krishna means 8 times SEVA. They cannot do, they have to go to office. Jagannath or Gaun Nitai, morning and evening is enough. And then in the weekend time, they will call Indians, their friends and all, because you cannot teach to Muslims there. They'll kill you if you do that. They were doing everything, what can we imagine? They were doing kirtana, they were doing kirtan, they are doing a small class, they are cooking and distributing prasadam. So basically every house is a temple. And what is the result? In India we cannot match it. Now, how many people in India, say in Mangalore, are chanting 16 rounds? 10, 50, 100, 200, you have to stop at 500. With all the three temples in Mangalore working together, there it is in few thousands. So therefore, let us not get focused on the ashrama. We should respect that. It's a service done to Lord Krishna. So many people are being inspired. They work with lot of energy, with synergy together. They have us secretly. They hire an auditorium, they lock it up, and inside they have Rath Yatras. And they have a competition. I'm going to do Rath Yatra, my team, say 1,000 people. Then the next team starts 1 hour later. You have to do short Rath Yatra, they have the same thing, everything to do. When they have Janmashtami, I was asking when we have Janmashtami in Mangalore, so we have 2,000-3,000 people coming, visitors. Devotees, 50, 100 maximum. There they have 3,000-4,000, 16 rounders sitting without 1 minute getting up. Seriously. Correct? So what is important is not which ashrama is important. What is important is, can we make people, so let us hear this verse which was selected by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Very interesting, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu kept rejecting, Iye Bahaya. Can anybody locate that in Chaitanya Charitamrita? Iye Bahaya, Iye Bahaya. This is external, this is external. Unbelievable. When he asked Ramananda Raya, how can people become Krishna conscious? Sarvadharman Parit, give up everything, just surrender to Krishna. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, this is external. Unbelievable. External, not very important. Krishna said that in the end of Bhagavad Gita, the highest instruction. Keep it aside. This is not very practical, basically. And when he says, Jnane prayasa udapatsya namante eva, give up your attempt to understand God by your speculation. Yeah? Just like scientists are speculating, what is the truth? They're speculating. Maybe it's like that, maybe the cosmic manifestation came like that, maybe there was a chunk. He said, give up this attitude. That's all you need. Namant eva, become humble. So humility means actually he hears. Correct? They say today, the great quality, this person is a hearer. Actually, he's humble. Humble person only listens. Proud person never listens to anyone. He wants to listen. Namanta eva. Jnane prayasa utapasya namanta eva. Then Jivanti sanmukha bhavatiya vartaha. He lives in this way, hearing the glory of the Lord. Sthane sita shrutikatam tanuva manobi. Just stay wherever you are. You are a brahmachari, fine. You are a grasta, fine. Wherever you are, just stay there. Sthane sita shrutikatam manobi. Jivani sadmukha bhavatiya varta. Okay, anybody got this verse? Anybody knows this verse? Supriti Mataji, you have located this? So I'm going to give you evidence of that, what I'm speaking. Okay? Okay, you are there with me? Hare Krishna, thank you everybody. Now just see the pramana now, because sometimes Yeah, what is the shloka number?
14.3, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
57 it is. Recite a verse from the revealed scripture concerning the ultimate goal of life. This is 57, it has started the discussion. So now the Ramananda Rai is saying the answer. This is in Bengali. First he is saying, the Supreme Personality of God and Lord Vishnu is worshipped by the proper execution of prescribed duties in a system of Varna and Ashrama. There is no way to satisfy Supreme Personality. One should receive an institution for. We should strictly follow Varnashrama, Dharma. So Chaitanya Prabhu heard that. Okay, today how can he do that? So Chaitanya Prabhu is saying, Iye bhaya. This is external, not so important. Aage kaha. If you know something better, say something better. So, better say something. The Ramananda Rai, we should offer the result of all our activities, that is perfection. Yat karoshi yad ashnashi yad juhoshi dadasi yat tapasyasi kaunteya tat kurusha mararpanam. Whatever you have wealth, whatever you have, everything offer to Krishna. Yat juhoshi, yat karoshi, whatever. Do everything for the pleasure of Krishna. Whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer, whatever you give in charity, whatever ostrich from all results should be offered to Krishna. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very happy. He rejected this also. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, what does he say? This is also external. If you know something better, speak. To give up all the duties, responsibility in this world and surrender to Krishna. That's the verse I was talking, Sarvadharman Parityaja. He gives that as a solution. And then what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu does? He rejects that. Ramananda Rai, occupation, duty that describe religious scriptures and analyzes them. He can understand their qualities and fault and give them up completely to render service to Krishna. This person is therefore called a first class man. The famous verse, Saradharman parityaja mamekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarapapebhyo mokshishaimascha. So what does Chaitanya Mahaprabhu say? Delighted, wonderful. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Prabhu ke hai, iye bahaya. This is not important. Go ahead and say something better, something better. Again rejected this statement. Ramananda Rai said, devotion service mixed with empiric knowledge is the essence of perfection. Gyan Mrishit Bhakti now. And what does Chaitanya Mahaprabhu say? And what is the shloka he quotes? Brahma bhuta prasannatma na shochati nekashati samha sarveshu bhuteshu madbhakti ramate para. Okay. So according to Bhagavad Gita, one who is the transited situated at once realizes Supreme Brahman and become fully joyful and never laments or desires to have anything. He is equally disposed to every living entity. In that state, he attains pure devotion service to me. So he talks about that. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Iye bhaya, this is also not needed. Aage kaha, say something better. Then, without any speculation, pure devotion service, that will be the best. And then goes on, and then he says about this. No speculation. Pure devotion service. Jnane prayasa utapasya namanta eva. Give up your attempt to understand God by your jnana. Your own attempt. Give it up. Become humble. Jivanti sanamukharita bhavadiya vartam. Live a life in this way that you are hearing about Lord from the Shastra. Don't speculate, hear from the Shastra and from the mouth of devotees. Sanamukha, satmukha. Sthane sita, stay wherever you are. Doesn't matter which ashrama you are doing job, you are not doing. Shrutigatan, keep hearing. Tanuva manobi, engage your. We have three things with us. We have body, we have mind, we have words. Okay? All the three engage in service to Krishna in this way. Ye prayaso, if you do this attempt, other attempt you forget. If you do this attempt, ye prayaso ajita jita. All I did was that wherever I am situated in ashrama, wherever I am situated, I am peaceful. But by this attempt to attentively just try to hear what the Lord is telling in Gita Bhagavatam, but that should be genuine. Ajita api jita. You will conquer the Lord. You'll not conquer the Lord by sarvadharman parityaja. You'll not conquer the Lord by jnana mitzvah bhakti, this, by varnashrama, nothing. What you'll conquer the Lord by? Just submissively hearing to what the Shastra says. Ye prayaso ajita api jita. If you can just sit down, and what is the essence of the instruction of the Shastra? If you cannot even read the Shastra, chant Hare Krishna. Can you just sit down attentively, without any distraction? Not that you're chanting Hare Krishna, you're looking some videos or looking in the newspaper. No. Chanting means hearing. If you can do this, don't make a joke of chanting. If you can chant attentively, you will conquer Krishna. Trilokam. The Krishna who is unconquerable in the three worlds. You see, Krishna Lila, nobody could fight with him. But same Krishna you can conquer if you can just hear submissively about him. And that is what is actually will please now. Ramananda Raya said, Lord Brahma said, my dear Lord, those devotees are thrown away the impersonal conception of the absolute truth and therefore abundant discussing empiric philosophy of truth should hear from a self-realized devotees about your holy name, form, pastimes, and quality. They should completely follow the principle of devotion service and remain free from illicit sex, gambling, intoxication, animal slaughter. Live a pure life. Not that there is a concession, but not, there is some rules also in the concession that keep a life pure. Surrendering themselves fully with body, words and mind, they can live in any ashrama or social status. Indeed, you are conquered by such persons, although you are always inconquerable. See, Prabhupada has given little expanded translation, so people can just, and this is all I'm supposed to do. And then when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu hears this, what happens to him? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu replied, that's all right, perfect. But still you can speak something more about the subject. And then he starts talking about ecstatic devotion service. You see? So you can see, you got the pramana. And who is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Incarnation of God in Kali Yuga. So you don't feel encouraged now? He says, yes, doesn't matter very well. So what happens? I am a Brahmachari, and should I become Brahmachari? Should I become Grihastha? These kind of things somebody will have who's a youngster. And those who are Grihastha, I think I should have been a Brahmachari. Why you're wasting your time? Your focus is, can I submissively hear the glories of the Lord or not? Can I do that today? Can I spend 1 hour from today that I will read what Krishna speaks through parampara? Let me read Bhagavad Gita. Can I do that from today? Let me make a small resolution. Rest of the thing does not matter. I have children, I have wife, I have family. Does not matter. It just does not matter. Doesn't matter. By result, proved. 3 Grihasthas created revolution in England. Why 3 sannyasis could not? Because these 3 were actually hearing submissively. And they produced a result. See, how can something produce a result? See, if there is a power in a plug, it can give power to the laptop. If there is no power in the plug, it cannot give power to the laptop. Correct? So how can I produce spiritual result is not a joke. You cannot convince somebody about Krishna unless you are convinced. Therefore said, what does it say? Krishna Shakti na hoy parivartana. Without having Krishna Shakti, I cannot transform myself. I cannot transfer other people. So how can I get Krishna Shakti in Kali Yuga? It's very easy. Just submissively hear the holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare. Yesterday we had a message from the team. This time only 50 people had given name for Diksha. So many of them actually not read the Prabhupada books. They are appearing for Diksha. So whatever way is not very pleasant to hear because no habit. And therefore I told we will decide that we will not be doing initiation course anymore. We will just examine them with the read Prabhupada books. Because after they start initiation course, they stop reading altogether. Oh, they will teach us. No sir, you read. And we will just examine we have read. You can read in together in congregation, that's your business. That's your responsibility. Anybody coming for initiation or all the levels we do now, we will organize. We will see the reading is made a criteria, forced reading, and we'll just only test that. We will start ceremonies for Shraddhavan, Sevak, Sadhak, and there will be examination for each one of them. An exam will be to test whether they are reading or not reading. Those who are not reading, please do not appear for Bhiksha or anything. Don't waste our time. Just do this much, whatever is there. Okay? So, the success of your life is if you can read. Okay? If you can hear. And hearing is, am I chanting? And hearing is, I am reading the Shastra. Okay? So, just like somebody is sleeping, he can be woken up through the ear. That's an example. So spiritually also we are sleeping. We can be woken up by the vibration. Even though apparently it's a material vibration, it's a spiritual vibration, which actually wakes up us, all of us, in the spiritual life. Hare Krishna everybody. Anybody has to add something? We still have 5 minutes. Any questions? No questions? So everybody make a resolution to hear submissively the holy name, submissively the books. So opportunity is in your hand. An animal cannot chant the holy name. Animal cannot read the Shastra. That's a difficulty in animal life. Therefore, he cannot advance spiritually. Hare Krishna. Clarification.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji,
Hare
Dhanavad
Krishna.
Pranam. Thank you.
Pranam Prabhuji, thank you for the class. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanavad Pranam.
Krishna Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanavad Pranam. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanavad
Krishna
Pranam.
Prabhuji, Pranam.
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jai Shri Krishna, Jai
Singa
Chaitanya
is
Prabhu.
very beautiful,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Krishna Prabhu,
Hare
thank you
Hare
so much.
Hare Hare Rama
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama
Rama, Rama
Rama
Rama,
Rama
Hare Krishna
Hare
Prabhuji.
Hare
Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Prabhuji.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
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 Ram,
Rama
Ram
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
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 Krishna.
Krishna, Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Rama,
Hare Rama
Hare
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 Rama
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
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 Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare
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 Rama,
Rama Hare
Hare
Rama Rama Rama
Hare
Hare
Rama.
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama